Hello, by TheSuffolkRam from our nerds. Welcome to my review of Doctor Who Series 10, Episode 5, Oxygen. There may be some minor spoilers ahead, so if you don't want things spoiled, please turn off now. So Oxygen is set on a space station. The Doctor and Pearl are on Earth, and he decides to, he initially wants to take Pearl to space somewhere, against Nardol's arguments and complaints, but shortly after they receive a distress call. Well, I'm pretty sure he received a distress call before he said that. He was just using it as an excuse to go out. They receive the distress call, they follow it, and they find themselves on the space station, only to discover that pretty much everybody there has been mysteriously killed, and it appears that somebody has hacked into they have these little sort of exosuits, and someone appears to have hacked the exosuits and basically gone to kill everybody. What it basically is like a zombie film in space, because the suits, once they kill you, they carry on operating. I was immediately reminded, watching it, of something you may have played or heard of a game called SOMA. It came out a couple of years ago, and it's set in an underwater base. And in that, it's all about sort of AI and what is consciousness. But one of the enemies in that is basically like a suit/human combo that follows you, that basically hunts you down. So it made the sort of style and where it looked very much felt like that, and it felt very, very effective. I love these kind of stories. I think Doctor Who's best when it's a tight, small group of characters in a difficult position, and they're against the clock. In this case, not external, they're against the clock because they have a limited number of breaths. Each suit has a certain amount of oxygen, and it can supply a certain number of breaths, which is a neat idea. It's not, you've got 2 hours left. It's, if you breathe too fast, you're going to die earlier. So it's a neat idea. In fact, all their suit, they only breathe in the suits. The rest of the ship is kept, it's all vacant. So I like that idea. And in fact, but it is very atmospheric. I like the way it worked the way through the building and so forth, and how they sort of deal with the suits' AI as it got better and worked its way around them and figure out what's going on. But it never felt super intelligent. It always felt basic, and it's just working its way through as one of the characters, dumb as rocks, with some problem-solving capabilities. And that makes sense. I felt right for all the suits. So I really enjoyed it. And the ending, I thought, was very clever. The way the Doctor solves the problem, when he triggers what's going on, and how he figures out how to solve the problem, I thought was a very clever idea indeed. Really enjoyed the ending, really liked the ending. So actually, that a really good episode. So moving on to characters. This is probably the first time we've had Nardole appear majorly in the 10th season in an episode, although he's in episode 1 quite a lot. The last 4 episodes, he's been quite a lot in the background. In fact, I think he barely appeared in last week's episode, and I like Matt Lucas and the whom he brings to it. Although he's a Humeric character, he's not irritating. He's just the right side of being. It's very easy for a comedy character to become unbearable and unenjoyable, but Nardole, Matt Lucas playing him, does a really good job of not messing it up. I have to say, Pearl Mackie's acting in this episode was brilliant. As Bill, she was absolutely fantastic in some of the things she had to carry out, and the panic in her eyes at certain stage where things happen to her, and pretty much from the get-go, was really well done. The other characters in it as well, all pretty darn good. I've got a list of the names here. We had Ivan, played by Kieran Bow, Tasker by Justin Salinger, Daran by Heather Carleyfield. Well, I can't remember where I've seen him before. He's definitely been something before, and the neatness of his when Bill sees him and her reaction to him, and his reaction to her specifically, I thought was really neat and really well done. Millie Newden plays Abby, and Katie Braben plays Ellie. There are other characters in it. All pretty good sort of characters. Liked the way they played through it. I like the way they worked through. All good side characters in general. So yeah, very good episode. I thought the acting was pretty darn good. Then we get on to production. So this episode is written by Jamie Mathieson, who is probably one of my favourite modern Doctor Who authors. He also wrote in previous seasons. He's wrote, or writ, whatever you want to say, Mummy on the Orient Express, which I thought was a really cracking episode and one of the best of season 8. He also writ Flatline, which was the best episode of season 8, by far the best episode of season 8. He does really good horror episodes, I have to say. Last year he did The Girl Who Died. Oh, not last year. The previous season he did The Girl Who Died. Not as good. He did co-write it with Stephen Moffat, and that's not as good as the other ones. He really does far better when he does the horror episodes, which is ironic because really he's basically taking on what Moffat did for Russell T Davies there. Moffat was the horror writer for Russell T Davies, and he really does those episodes very well. And then he's honestly done this one, which I thought was an absolutely excellent episode. The graphics in it were pretty darn good. The space station looked awesome and beautiful. The suits were really good, the way well done, when the people were walking through and how they moved, and they looked clumsy and effective. I thought was really neatly done. Also, it felt very believable shots. It felt very realistic, a believable space station. I mentioned previously how much this episode reminded me of SOMA, and that was very much the same thing. I always like the subtle callbacks. They make a little callback to Fluid Links right at the very start, which is, I don't think it's been mentioned in Doctor Who since the Daleks with William Hartnell. I think that's the first time it got mentioned. I think it's the last one it got mentioned, so it's a nice little callback there. And there's also an excellent segment from Bill's point of view. I won't give details because that would spoil it, but I thought it was really cleverly done. What she saw, what went on from her point of view. I thought it was very clever. I thought very, very good. So I really liked that segment there. So overall, the episode I thought was really good. Top spec, great episode. Really enjoyed it. Really, really good. Certainly, Jamie Mathieson keeping up this pace, keeping up the score and the credibility. This season's been fantastic for episodes so far. I don't think there's really been much of a dud run yet. I'm really liking and enjoying that. So yeah, really good overall, really good series so far, and I'm only can hope it goes well from here. Next week, the Doctor ends up in the Vatican, and there's a cliffhanger bit based on the end of this episode. After I won't spoil that is, but hopefully we'll see what happens to that next episode where he has to deal with the situation. What I would say is don't watch the trailers for next week's episode until you've seen this week's episode, because they will completely give away one of the big things that happens to the Doctor. But yeah, very good episode overall. So much for watching. I've been the SuffolkRam. I hope you enjoyed my review of this episode. So I look forward to seeing you on the next week. While you're on here, we've also, if you look for our video list, you should see a video where me and another of our people around now called Middlemeister, where we record a discussion on the previous 4 episodes. That's a spoiler review, so we will give away spoilers when we discuss everything. We go into a lot more depth for the episodes, what we think, callbacks to previous episodes, discuss what's going on. So if you are interested in our thoughts on the rest of the series in a bit more in depth, check that out. And please, if you enjoyed this, please subscribe to our channel as well. So until next week, I look forward to seeing you on the next review. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you later.